All right, well, we had a good girls regular season, but now it's time for the playoffs. And the playoffs is a different animal, so you can do whatever you want during the regular season, but when it comes time for the playoffs, that's when you gotta play your best. So you can blow a team out in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, it's one game, one and done. And so what happens is I try and prep these girls to get ready, knowing that if we lose this next game, our season is over, so we can't lose. So I'm preparing them for the playoffs. Sometimes they have the mindset if we blow out a team during the regular season, that same thing's gonna happen in the playoffs. Oftentimes that does not happen. So I hope we're ready. Hopefully they get the girls in the right mindset between the coaching staff and the girls. We're trying to get them prepared and be ready. So let's see what happens.
Back to our home gym. This is where we'll be practicing, getting ready for the playoffs. People ask me, is it your coaching or is it your players that make you successful? Well, to be honest, it's a combination of both. Because I could be coaching, but if I don't have the necessary athletes to carry out what I'm coaching, we would not be successful. But the same thing goes with the players. The players need coaching. I'm blessed with a group of girls who have a high basketball IQ, so I can explain something once or twice and they pick it up pretty easily.
Alright guys, this is what it is, practice. Now that we've made the teams, the main thing that I gotta get through to this team is about practice habits. The difference between winning and losing normally comes down to how well you practice. So a lot of these kids, they see on TV, they see Michael Jordan playing, they see LeBron James, they see Kobe Bryant. But what they fail to show you is the practice habits that each of these individuals have. The next thing, this is the major one that a lot of people don't really emphasize, layups. It sounds easy, but when I go to a Raptors game, guess what they're practicing? They're practicing their layups. What am I trying to say? They're breaking it down to the fundamentals of this game. If you can make layups, you're gonna win a lot of games. And our defense is predicated on stealing the ball and doing layups. And so what I teach my kids is, guess what? If you break down the art of making a layup, we're going to be very successful. And I had done my studies. 90% of our baskets are not on three-pointers. They're not on free throws. They're on actual layups. A lot of people don't understand that. And so if you can get down the fundamentals of having good practice habits and making layups, we are going to be successful. And that's how it is. So let's see how our practices go. And guess what? If they're successful in doing good practicing, we're going to be a very good team.
Blue Jays, I put my city on the map. I am heavy with the rap. I ain't got time for a nap. I am out for the cash, and I'ma spend it all, cause you know that time doesn't last. I'm on the ice like the Leafs, a swag officer chief. My employees are goons in that black on black beats. Watch your back, Spino, Toronto, Dinos, and I ain't gassed up. I'm yet to pay the hydro, but my money's still a hider.
Too many easy layups missing. Come on.
And I ain't never shy, bro. This is all foul, bro. I'm recording light, bro. Michael holds a title, like always, Jordan or Jackson. Let's start to say black man, cause you know that's my last name. Black men rep Blue Jays today. This Friday, I pop me some Blue Jays to rock on a Monday. I put my city on the map, I got my city on my back. What's your city? Where you at? What's that logo on your hat? Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Blue Jays. I put my city on the map, I got my city on my back. What's your city? Where you at? What's that logo on your hat? Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Blue Jays.
It's a new day, Blu-ray. diamonds, I'm cool, ayy. Chillin' in my city, I could care less where you stay. Shoebox full of knots, and I ain't talking about no shoelace. You would think I own a pet shop the way I got all these blue jays. I'm going to work and I don't need a suitcase. True say, tell shorty and my boss feed me a few grapes. You hate, but it's too late. I'm in a new coupe, I need new plates. I ain't even crossed the border, but my mind is in a new state. I'm grinding. Take a look at my chick, she's smiling. Is that Nicki boy that had stopped the clock? Now that's perfect timing. They ask me how I do it, and my flow ain't even trying. I just always knew I had it. I don't need to be reminded. T-Dot boy, we wildin'. 4 and 6, what I'm dialing. Left the city, I'll be back. So she call whenever I'm in.
You're gonna see us running up and down, doing suicides, running. Okay, we're gonna be in shape. One of the things that we don't see in basketball are teams that are in shape. Okay, we want to be doing a lot of pressing, a lot of stealing. And if you're out of shape, you cannot do that.
You saw the end product, okay? You saw the end. You saw how we played. You saw us blow out these teams. You saw us put up buzzer beaters. You saw that. But what you did not see was the work that we put on. That's what you did not see. You didn't see the amount of work that we put down in that gym. You didn't see us practicing. You didn't see us running. You didn't see us sweating. Although we said we wanted to win, but you did not see the actual work, the hard work that we put in. Sometimes you have goals in life, but guess what? You gotta work for it. Nothing comes easy. Every team that came into our gym wanted to beat us. But guess what? I guarantee you they did not outwork us. There is no success without sacrifice. Miss Mercado sacrificed for the team. She gave up her lunchtime. She gave up after school. Mr. Gordon, he sacrificed for this team. When you could be leaving at 3:05, he's going to stay back with the team. Sometimes at 4:30, working with the team. Same thing with Mr. Baker and Miss Duwali. They sacrificed their lunchtime in order for these girls to shine. And now yourself, listen, myself, listen, I sacrificed. I had to get here 8 o'clock in the morning the past 2 weeks. Now, it wasn't easy. Listen, I have a pregnant wife. My wife is over 8 months pregnant. I had to rush her out the door just so I can get to school on time so I can practice with these young ladies. So guess what? I sacrificed. I gave in my time. And guess what? Because we all sacrificed. These 5 teachers sacrificed. What you saw on Friday was an example of what happens when someone sacrifices for your success. So girls, when you are shining on the court, guess what? You want to pay tribute for those who sacrifice for you to do what you do.
Falter now. We come too far to falter. Okay, let's go. Same thing again. Let's go. Make your layups. Focus. Well, the second season's upon us. We're now into the playoffs. You win, you play on, you lose, you're out. We're going to be playing against Runnymede. We don't know what to expect, but we'll be ready. With this being a playoff game, you gotta expect we're gonna get our best fight from our opponents. In the early going, it's a defensive struggle for both teams. We're trying to solve their zone to free up our guards. Somehow I gotta break open this game. So what I'll do is I'll put a full court press to speed them up. As a coach, you gotta find out your opponent's weakness and try and expose it. Seeing how their best players are front court players, their weaker players are their guards. So it only makes sense to speed up their guards so they can turn over the ball.
From here, just like we've been doing all along, zone down here, but you pick up your man. That girl's gonna head fake you all day. She's gonna do this, you'll slip. Yeah, hold your hands up. Okay? Make your layups, girls. You're missing too many layups.
Ironically, our power forward number 5, Rochelle, and our center number 20, Ashley, they're the ones that get us going.
Basically, Kia and Ivina play give and go with the ball. When the referee starts doing this, you got 5 seconds. That means the girl's on you. You gotta pass it off and get it back.
Hey, look, spread it. Put it one corner. You do one corner. Hey, you here, someone else, so you two stay high. You two up here, spread it.
Remember, 10 seconds is when we go into make our move. Hold the ball.
Go to one corner.
Well, it's halftime. We have the lead, not a sizable lead, but we can't take anything for granted.
When you get the ball, when we're trying to kill a clock, right? Don't dribble right off the bat, because then you give up on your option, right? What is she gonna do? Right? Both of you, right? Jab her, whatever it is, jab her, right? Let her move, right? You don't have to. Then you dribble it, you pass, right? You don't have to get inside the right away.
The girls trap. I saw three or four girls around one girl. There's no need to. Two is enough. Everybody else get that pass.
Adjustments. One of the biggest thing in coaching is making halftime adjustments. The good teams are separated from the great teams who make the best adjustments.
Be there. Don't foul. There's what you should call. The girl is right here, right? Ashley's to this side. Step up here, this. Okay? This is what Ashley's doing. Turn your face to the ball. Ashley's doing this. You gotta put her over if she's doing her layup.
Right? So put your hands up. Ashley's over there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna put it here.
Don't put it there.
These may seem like little adjustments, but these little adjustments have huge dividends. I call this paying attention to detail. This is what the great teams do.
Okay, guys, let's go.
That's what he said?
We finally break the game wide open. Now our bench players need to close it out. won the game, but look at the faces of our players. It looks like we just lost the game. Something's not right. I won't waste any time. I gotta address this as soon as possible.
I've never seen a team blowing on another team like this, and then our players seem to be the most frustrated. We're so frustrated out there. It's like, what are we doing? On our bench, I see the people on the bench going on. Maybe we need to cut this down to 7 or 8 players, because we're not behaving as if we're winners, right? We're not behaving as if we're winners. I don't know how many superstars we have, but everyone think well, I should be out there playing, I shouldn't be doing this. We're a team. We don't play as a team. I don't want to see us, we're winning. Look around the room. Just look around the room. Why are we so upset?
We're up 19 points, and we completely unraveled. And the first thing Mr. Brown and Mr. Burke said in here was superior teammates. We missed layups, support them. Girls were like crying like we lost the game. That's the first adversity we've ever seen. And we fell apart.
And we're winning.
And we're winning! By 20 points! Look at that. People are yelling at each other, people are swearing at each other, people are wondering what people are doing on the court. Tell them take them off. Yeah, so our defense, our second unit didn't come necessarily step up. Do you think it's going to help if we start screaming at them? No. And we're only as strong as our weakest player. If we go to the tournament, cities, finals, and we have a couple of games, we need our bench players. Alright? We can't just rely on our 4 or 5 starters who we're upset about, oh, she was out on the other, this, that. We're not getting calls. We're not getting calls.
It's a part. This is how the game is played.
But to turn on each other, like that can't happen. That's ridiculous.
This is disappointing.
And also the other team, they scored what, 5 points? Did you see how they supported each other? They missed so much. Good job, good for you, good for you. There's so honestly, get it together, ladies. You think you're the stars now? When you go to high school, you won't be. You'll be at the bottom of the barrel. So understand to be nice to your teammates. Crying, getting upset, slapping their hands, not saying good job. What kind of sportsmanship is that? Get it together. I was a bit disappointed. Your game was good, but your attitude was terrible.
I was disappointed.
You hit it right on the head, Liz. Right now, I am mixed emotions because I'm happy you won, but how you went about winning was terrible. I keep it 100, you girls. When you do good, I'm your #1 fan. But what I saw today was ridiculous. Ridiculous. You see Mr. Baker and Mr. Gordon and myself play. We played a staff game. We missed layups. We missed a whole bunch of things. Never once did we clown each other or say, you missed a layup, and you don't do it. We don't behave that way. I'm sorry.
Or the people on the bench laughing.
Yeah.
They miss a layup and they're laughing. Oh,
that's ridiculous. I mean, this is supposed to be your whole family. I'm sorry, but my family, if I make a mistake, I get you. You know who has my back? My family has my back. I can make any mistake. I guarantee you my wife is not going to turn on me. I guarantee Mr. Gordon's not going to turn on me. You got to have each other's back. You missed the layup. Guess what? Yeah, you missed the layup. Support the young lady. Tearing her down, so now she's gonna make it by tearing her down? No.
No, she won't even want to touch them.
You're defeating her self-confidence. You can't do that. You gotta uplift each other. How many times have I come into practice and you girls miss layups? Did I tear you down? Oh, you guys are no good. I'm done with this team. Did I throw up my hands? No, I supported you. You can do it. Do it again. It is wrong, the wrong attitude that you're sending right now. You're winning and you're sad. Does that make any sense?
that means there's no pleasing you guys.
I hope we never, you know what? For your sake, I hope we never lose. You know, what happens if we lose?
No, but this is the lesson right here. If we go to this is the best team we face. Well, guess what? The next teams are better, and at cities they're even better than that. So what happens if we're in a close game and they're fouling? We get upset. We stop running up and down the floor. We stop trying. Who's going to win the game? They are. We got to learn to deal with adversity. We're getting emotional when we're getting slapped in the hand and the wrist. Listen, that's part of the game. You know that. Get up and let's get back in it. If we can't handle adversity, we're screwed. We might as well stop now. We might as well quit. It's going to get harder.
They scored their 6 points within the last few minutes, and that's when you all broke apart.
Yep.
When I'm gonna call you out, that's when she fell to the floor and say, "What's the matter?" That's when they scored. When you don't realize when you're on the court, you play as a team. Not everyone in this team can shoot. Not everyone can defend really well, but together you make a good team. But if one team member is not supporting, then it brings down everyone else. Earlier you guys were laughing, smiling at the camera. Then all of a sudden some of our star players were upset, were crying, felt defeated, and everyone picks up that mood? Like,
Defeating. It's a defeating attitude. Mr. Gordon's not for it, Mr. Wally's not for it, no, I'm not for it, Mr. Baker. We're not for this. I'm sorry. I'm your number one fan. I keep telling you guys. I'm here bragging to my friends about Oakdale, about you girls. You hear me on the announcements bragging about you. I'm not bragging about your behavior right now, your attitude. I'm not bragging about that. I'm concerned.
Mr. Brown, I'll tell you this. It's funny, I missed the call today. Because as I've told you, a friend of mine from a magazine, online magazine, wanted to come and cover the team today. And I missed his call at 11 o'clock. I missed his call. If he was here today, if he had come, what would he have to say? What would I have to say to him? What would I have to say to him? This is the team that I'm talking about? This is the team? No, I can't do it. I can't have him come to our next game. This is what he was going to go online and write about? The team, the Oakdale that I'm bragging about? It's not it. It's not it.
Things have to change. I'm sorry. We're putting our foot down. And we're saying it has to change. And it's going. This is something that really bothered me. We smoked them, yet they were happy. They had the attitude that we should have. They lined up and they shook your hand. They high-fived you, and they lost. That speaks volumes to me. Because guess what? True character is revealed when adversity comes. I really know how you stand. Not when things are going good, but when things are going bad. That's when your true character comes out. And they were able to shake your hand and high-five and walk out. But you guys are still crying, you're upset at one another. It doesn't work that way, ladies. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Mr. Stewart was here, he was watching the game, but he had to come to me, Mr. Brown. I don't know what's going on with your team. Yeah, they're scoring, but right now their attitude is whack.
Because you win as a team, you lose as a team. And what I was seeing was that someone must have made a turnover, you're crying. And you know what? 1 minute is define you. You're playing great defense, you're getting turnovers. You're not thinking about it. You're feeling that one time you mess up on offense. That's the reality. It happens, you get past. Things happen in life and you have to move on.
Yeah.
So, although it's a huge sport, it's actually called life skills.
It's important to have positive male role models. Every area needs people like this who will talk to them not only when they're doing good, but when they're doing wrong.
Next time you have a game, high-five it.
As a coaching staff, we're challenging our students to come up to our standard. They have to reach our expectations. If we don't have any standards or expectations, then the students will set one, and that bar will be too low.
You suck. You're dirt. You're dirt.
Sub it. And no, get it off the court.
Listen, I missed the shot. He never came to me since Mr. Brown. Oh, get off the court.
I think the smallest guy in the team blocked my shot, didn't he?
Really?
One hit a shot in my face, one
Yeah.
on my head. You move on.
You move on. Life goes on. You can't tear down your teammate. The person right next to you is the person supporting you. You can't tear that person down. And you never hear us verbally assault one another. We don't do that. We don't practice that. Change your attitude. I'm criticizing, it's out of love. Because I want the best for you guys. You guys have my heart, and that's it. I just gotta be real with you. So changes have to be made, girls. Love each other. Stop this assassinating each other. Stop it. Tomorrow morning, let's go.
Everyone, let's go, ladies.
Let's go.
Families sometimes have issues that they have to get ironed out. Hopefully we've ironed out ours and keep it in-house.
Hold on, not all the hands are in. If it's not loud enough, we're gonna have to repeat it.
Smile. What are you guys? You guys
just
smile.
You just win again?
What are you girls, man?
You just win?
Man.
Come on now.
You're so extra.
Come on.
Let's go.
Okay, you're chatting.
You wait. I don't know.
You're trying. Come on, start it. OB, muscle high. OB, muscle high. OB, muscle high. Muscle high. Muscle high. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
Because of the standings, we have a play-in tournament between Oakdale, Brookview, and Deer Park. 2 of the 3 teams will make the playoffs. We basically have to do our best and win all our games. Our first game of the play-in tournament is versus Brookview, our arch rival. This time we're not playing at home. We're playing against a rowdy Brookview crowd. Well, let's go. Our girls have never played against an opposing crowd, a loud crowd as well, but we're ready for it. We practice for this moment. I'm anxious to see if our girls can handle this environment when the crowd's against them. Once again, we call a timeout to settle down our girls, letting them know don't play towards the crowd. If we execute, the crowd will be a non-factor. Once we settle down, we start executing. As we get rolling, we quiet down the crowd. That's exactly what we want to do. Execute. Of course, you can't stop everything. 21 has a good jump shot, and she made it. Situations like that, you just tip your hat off to her. Another win for Oakdale. We have one more game against Deer Park. If we win that one, that will book our ticket for the playoffs.
Stop missing layups. You guys have a habit of missing early layups to start layups. Start off hot and we're ready to go.
One more thing. You beat us in football. Take it on. Right? You beat us in football, man.
OP? Yeah. OP! Bossa high! OP! Bossa high! OP! Bossa high! Bossa high! Bossa high! Oh, damn! 3, 1, 2, 3! Oh, damn!
We're getting ready to play the Deer Park Jaguars. I don't know what to expect from these girls, but I don't take anyone lightly. I don't care what they look like. Our plan is to jump on them early, take away their confidence. The Jaguars have a little point guard. She's small, but she plays good. When she lacks in size, she makes up in heart. I just like her demeanor on the court.
Respect them and play the game right.
When you get the ball, because you steal it doesn't mean they're going to leave you. They just let you go down and get it. They're going to come from behind trying to strip the ball. That's right. Right? So you protect the ball. Don't be tripping, running up, or dribble. Protect the ball. See where you go. See where you got. You look. Be patient. Be patient. If it's not there, be patient.
This is the best team we've faced so far. They're not as skilled as us, but they're very scrappy. They fight for the ball. really like the Jaguars' spirit. They're playing us hard. They're giving us their best shot.
She's playing you like you guys are the best. And she's not letting down. I like the way she's playing. She's small.
She's saying I'm at your level.
She's saying I'm at your level.
I'm at your level.
You gotta show her. No, you're not at my level. What are you doing?
You gotta run.
But that's your mentality. You're she's a nice
small.
girl. I don't take the ball away from you. No.
I just don't want to pick her up. You pick her up with the ball.
Listen, if LeBron James steps into the gym, I'm going at LeBron. I don't care who he is. Kobe, name all of them. You put them out here. I don't care who you are. And that's her mentality. I don't care who you are. You have Oakdale on your chest. I don't care. I'm going at you. But you gotta be. Right now, she's more gritty than you guys. I saw her get on the ground. Short she may be, but she's not short on her spunk, her personality, her tenaciousness. She's not short on that.
Hey, listen, my brother is 6'10". And he can never tell me I'm too ball, I'm too small. He's got to come get me.
That's right.
I run around all day. That's what I had to do. 6'10", yeah. So those are all the guys that I had to play against. All the tall guys. They would never do that because they know they might be tall, but I'm faster. I'm stronger. I've got more endurance.
Right.
You understand? So don't take them for granted.
That's what I've been preaching. You hear me on Monday mornings. It's not how tall you are. It's not what shoes you wear. It's not what's on your chest. It's what's in here. It's what's in here. You gotta show heart when you're out there. Don't tell me that someone hit you. I know they hit you. So what you gonna do about it? You gonna cry?
No.
You gonna cry?
I know.
Huh? So no, I don't want to hear the story because they have the same story out there, but they want the win. They're gonna get grimy. You're too pretty to get on the floor. No, it doesn't matter. It's the mentality I'm trying to get at. It's your mentality.
There's one thing as a teacher that I just cannot teach. I cannot teach heart. You either want it or you don't. I can show you all the rules, I can show you all the principles, but you gotta want it. And this little girl right now, she wants it. And that's what I'm trying to show our players. You gotta play with that determination.
Good pass.
I'm impressed by this little girl. She just blocked a bigger player than her. She's leaving it all on the floor. It's another win for Oakdale, but both teams will make the playoffs, so it's very possible we'll see this team again. Well, it happened. We're going to be playing Dare Park again. This time, the winner of this game goes to the city finals. I was so impressed by this point guard, I had to go and talk to her to let her know I really appreciate how she plays.
Keep up the good work, alright? Alright, good stuff, Alright.
Being small doesn't mean you can't play. Matter of fact, people make snap judgments based on how people look. And we shouldn't do that. I'm trying to show my team, regardless of how she looks, her size, she's coming to beat you. And that's how you're going to approach life. No matter what you do, Always respect your opponents.
Focus. Everyone, listening up. We came here for a reason. We practice for a reason. I need results. We invested in you. Don't disappoint us. Play hard. Focus on me. Play hard. Make every last layup. You start the game too weak. Get in, get hard. I don't care how big or how small they are. We mean business. If you lose, your season is done. Have the mentality. We're taking no prisoners. We're going in. We're working hard. Make your layups.
Guys usually
Serious. I want results now.
tell me you're sick. Nothing.
OB, Buzzle High! OB, Buzzle High! OB, Buzzle High! Buzzle High! Buzzle High! Oh, get on 3, 1, 2, 3! Oh, yeah!
Let's go.
We start the game off with a bang. We're looking good. We're getting after it defensively, and we're getting exactly what we want. They threw a press break on us. We hadn't seen one all year, so I have to call a timeout to devise a press break. They're actually practicing one all year. Hopefully it works.
Just be there. Don't foul. Keep it in front of you guys. Lateral movement, side to side.
When you two are you guys get together, see the sideline and force it to the sideline. Don't reach.
Once again, we're picking up ticky-tack fouls. We gotta play aggressive defense without fouling.
So Kia, you're always on the ball. You're in the zone. It's custody of zone. Kia, you need help. Yeah, like Vita, you're reading. Just look around like Vita. Girl here, this is over here. Same thing you would. Just over to that open spot. Where did they go? Then you just slap the person. Both of you. Don't foul. Don't foul. Just be there. Hey, Vita!
We're having a difficult time picking up their press. They're blitzing us. We've never seen one all year, so our girls are trying to adjust to it. girls are now adjusting to the press. They're getting the hang of it. We're in the lead 20-8, but we're still getting after it, knowing that we can't leave anything to chance. It's halftime. We have a good lead, but not a big lead. And right now, Deer Park is willing to do anything to turn the tables on us. They know their season is coming to an end. So I gotta prepare these girls for any press or anything that they could throw at us in the second half.
Mr. Baker, come over here. Girls, remember this again. Remember this. Mr. Baker has here. We have him trapped on the sideline. Mr. Brent and I have him trapped on the sideline. You don't need to grab the ball or this. Because you know what's gonna happen?
Hands up.
Yes. She's gonna throw it away, you're gonna tip it, we're gonna get the ball, we're gonna get it. There's no reason to try to steal that. There's no reason for the third person to be up here.
Hold on, wait, hold on. We don't need three girls doing this. Two is, once we have two, it's the third person, you're looking for the steal.
That's it.
Don't have three people on the morning ball.
They're gonna change him right now, tell them you have nothing to lose, play hard. They're gonna come out on fire. Okay, so we can't come out with half of what we got. Okay, we're 100%.
We're gonna try again now. But make sure, girls, you're trapping without doing what? Trap without fouling.
Fine.
Let's go, girls, get out there.
What do you think about the game? Huh?
I think they're trying too hard, making a lot of little mistakes. That's where he needs to box out and just front that girl. That's it. And they're reaching too much. Tell them to stop reaching. Stop reaching.
It was Philip, one of our coaches. He stays on the low, but he's a big-time basketball coach. Second half, more of the same thing. We know exactly what we need to do to win. We're just executing. Well, we did it. We qualified for the city finals. We're 2 games away from being in a championship game. Let's go, girls. We finished number 1 in our conference, and we're one of the top 4 teams in the city of Toronto. We'll take a few moments to acknowledge our accomplishment, but at the same time we're keeping our eye on the prize. We know we have a lot of work ahead of us. The city finals won't be easy. Well, there's our first banner. You have 1 more to go.
Alright everyone, thank you for tuning into this episode. You don't want to miss the next episode, episode 4. That's going to be a big episode. First and foremost, congratulations to our girls. You're 2 games away from being the champions in Toronto. I can't wait to see how things progress. Also, on the next episode, I'm going to take you to my second job. Yep, my second job. A PA announcer for the Mississauga Power, a semi-pro team in Canada. So let's see how that unfolds. So tune in next week. You won't be disappointed. Thank you for tuning in.
Focus, focus, focus.
I gotta stay.
Focus, focus, focus.
Oh, I gotta stay. Right around my team. We shout out